What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Cody Campbell with High Ground Gaming. Today we are unboxing, building, and reviewing the Secretlab Titan Evo 2022 edition. I'm going to start by walking you through the specs on the chair, then we'll open it up. I'll let you take a look at what's inside. After that, we'll go to the review portion where I'll give you my thoughts on it after having used it for a little while, and then we'll go to High Ground Gaming's final score. Stick around. Secretlab is probably one of, if not the most popular gaming chair brands out there now. The Titan is also one of their more popular lines, but the Titan Evo is the new and improved version of it. The Titan, I believe, used to be just the larger version of the Omega. I think that they had a little bit different specs, but they were very similar. This one takes the best features of the Titan and the best features of the Omega, but then it also gives you a lot of variety. There's a lot of options for this chair. First off, there are 3 different sizes that it comes in. You can get the small version, which is for people under 5'6" and under 200 pounds. You can get the regular version, which is for people between 5'7" and 6'2" and under 220 pounds. Or you can get the XL, which is for people between 5'11" and 6'9" and ranges between 175 pounds and 395 pounds. You can also get it in 3 different upholstery options. There's the Secretlab Neo Hybrid Leatherette, which is sort of their take on faux leather, but it's sort of the closest to your most typical gaming chair leatherette. It comes in 40 different options in terms of color, and it's also the one where you see all those sort of special editions like the Witcher ones and the Monster Hunter and the Jinx from League of Legends and all that sort of thing. Then there's the Secretlab Softweave Plus, and I believe that's the one that they sent us. They sent us a regular size Secretlab Softweave Plus. That's the fabric version of this chair, which we're pretty excited to test out because fabric's getting a lot more popular since gamers realized that they want their chairs to let them breathe a little bit, and so that'll be pretty cool for us to check out. They also offer Napa leather, like genuine real leather. That drives the price up a lot. I believe that's the most expensive option, and it's somewhere around $1,000. Right now, it's currently unavailable in that option, but it is out there sometimes if that's something you want to spring for. But regardless of what size and upholstery you choose, all of these Secretlab Titan 2022 editions come with a certain number of features. There's the cold cure foam padding. Now on the website that says patent pending, but I do believe that Secretlab is the only one who can actually use that. I don't think any other gaming chair manufacturers have access to that. It's not memory foam, it's a little bit different. So we'll see how it performs. Now, one of the biggest features that the Evo has that I'm really excited about is called 4-way L-Adapt lumbar support. Now, a lot of different gaming chairs will say they have adjustable lumbar support. What they mean is they're gonna give you a lumbar pillow, and that pillow is gonna move up and down. This actually has built-in lumbar support that you can actually adjust using a couple of dials on the sides of the chair. So we're really excited to test that out. It has a steel frame and an aluminum wheelbase. It also has 4 directional arm rests, which are pretty cool. They're also hot swappable, which is interesting. So if you don't like the material that the armrests are made of, Secretlab sells their own like premium version that you can buy and replace them with, or presumably third-party manufacturers could also make them somewhere down the line. I haven't looked into whether or not those are out there yet or not. It also has a memory foam pillow with cooling gel, which is nice, that is actually magnetic. And that's another thing that I'm pretty excited about because most gaming chairs have a strap that attaches around the back or through the cutouts, and then it's not hyper adjustable. You can sort of move it up and down a little bit, or maybe there's a little bit of slide if it just wraps around the top. But for the most part, you're not going to get a high amount of customization for that, which sucks because, you know, people are different heights. People have necks in different places, so you want the pillow to be able to move around. Also, some people want the pillow behind their head where some people want it in the nape of their neck. And so having the ability to use a magnet to just stick it wherever you want it is a pretty neat feature. All right, that's about it for the specs though. Let's open it up. Ooh, big display. Oh, the instructions are on the back of this giant cardboard thing. That's hilarious. Secretlab access. So there's a user manual and the giant cardboard instruction. Okay, we've got upholstery care information, magnet safety information, aftercare guide, upholstery care. Okay, not a lot in this. It looks like the building instructions are basically the main thing there. All right, that's pretty nice looking. It's not the softest fabric I've ever felt. It's not super scratchy either. The cushioning feels really good. It's got this sort of suede lining on the edges here. It's got the regular 2022 edition right there and the little Titan logo, Secretlab embroidered on it. See the back. Secretlab Titan. And here's the little NFC scan thing. You can use your phone to scan that to pull up instructions for it and all kinds of stuff. It's also how they keep it from getting faked. All right, let's move on. Let's open the rest. The wrapping on it's a little loose, but the memory foam, it's really got a softness to it. And you can feel that there's that gel in there that's gonna make it stay cool and everything. Like you can see the outline of it here. Hey, so where does it start? Starts around there and it goes all the way up to the top. Interesting, so it doesn't go that low, but you probably wouldn't want it that low anyway. So that's probably the range right in there. Because at a certain point, yeah, it falls off. This is one of the softer ones I've ever felt. Usually these are firm, they have a tiny bit of give to them. This is pretty soft. And like I said, it is hot swappable. These are magnets here. They're gonna click into place on the armrest. And you could get different ones and replace them if you want to, which I think is cool. And yeah, see the armrest here should just click into place. It's pretty secure once it's on there. No wiggling or anything. All right, here's everything that comes inside. As you can see, there aren't actually that many parts. So as complicated as this might look, it's probably gonna come together pretty easily. Let's build it. So the instructions say to use this, which is clearly a screwdriver, but these are actually hex bolts. So they do give you a hex wrench, but they're so loose in here you don't really need it, so I'm just gonna do them by hand. So there are these slots on, well, there's a slot on the right-hand side. So this should just slide into place over this one, which is locked by the retract lever. So I should be able to just slide it on there. Yeah, buddy. All right, that actually went together pretty well. Usually getting these to line up properly while you put the screws in is a little bit of a pain. So it's nice that they put this slot on here. That actually makes this a lot easier. So we're supposed to remove this guy here with this, but there's not really a great way to get an angle on it. I guess I can kind of get in there. It's just funny because they should have definitely given a angled tool for this, but it's okay. You can make it work. There we go. So these are actually labeled. It says height on the right-hand one and tilt lock on the left-hand one, and there's a little sticker underneath there that actually tells you which one goes where, because they're actually flipped inversely, as you can see. So it's all put together. First impressions of the chair are pretty solid. The upholstery is nice. Like I said, it's not the softest upholstery I've ever felt, but it does feel good. It's not like scratchy or anything, and it feels like it would be easy to clean, and it's just a comfortable material to sit in. The recline goes back pretty far, as you can see, and it also comes forward past a 90-degree angle. So if you really want to fine tune where exactly you're sitting, that's pretty good. There's also a tilt button, so you've got kind of a rocking feature that you can use if you want to, or you can go ahead and just lock it in place. The pillow adjustment is really nice. I can put it all the way up near the top if I want to rest my head, if I feel like reclining and I want my head to be sort of tilted forward towards the monitor, or if I want to sit more upright, I can put it down lower and have some neck support. So that's really cool too. It's also very comfortable. It's very plush, and I imagine the memory gel is going to keep it from getting too warm. I haven't fiddled with the lumbar stuff too much. I'll probably be doing that over the course of my testing period. But that's enough for now. Let's go ahead and jump forward to the review section. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks. I've had some time to play around with the Secretlab Titan Evo 2022 edition, and I'm ready to talk about it. But before we do that, please like and subscribe. All right, let's dive right in and begin by talking about the build quality. I want to start off by talking about the Secretlab Softweave Fabric. This is the Black 3 is the color that they gave this one. There's a few different colors on there for the fabric, but they've all sort of got this heather quality to them. This is sort of a black with little speckles of gray on it. I'm personally not the biggest fan of that design. I would prefer just a solid black or solid gray or what have you, but it's a design choice, and that comes down to personal preference. As you mentioned before, the fabric isn't the softest in the world. It is just a skosh on the coarse side, but it isn't scratchy or really uncomfortable. It's just not the softest thing in the world. The fabric also generally just feels sturdy, and it's pretty easy to keep clean. I usually just use a lint roller, but you could also vacuum it if you want to. Now, the cold cure foam padding is a little on the firm side. It isn't super plush or anything like that, but it does have a slight contour as you sit in it. That's actually really good because it helps alleviate some of the pressure as you sit in it, which is really nice. I've personally used this for 8-hour-long work days and multiple multi-hour-long gaming sessions, and I've never found it to grow hard or uncomfortable in that time. The only real downside that I found to the chair's build quality is that the armrests are a little on the wiggly side. Now, they are 4-directional armrests, and that is something that I have found just kind of comes with the territory with these chairs. I have reviewed 3 or 4 different chairs with 4-directional armrests at this point, and all of them, without fail, have had wiggly armrests. In fact, this one I think is actually the least wiggly, but It is worth noting that it does still have a fair amount of wiggle, and if that's something that's going to drive you crazy, you should be aware of it. The arm pads, on the other hand, are incredibly nice. They're very plush, but not so cushy that your arms are going to sink into them. They just never really leave any red marks. You never feel any soreness or fatigue or anything from resting your arms on them. As I mentioned before, they're also hot swappable, but I honestly can't see myself ever wanting to swap these out for anything else. These are the most comfortable arm pads that I've ever felt. Likewise, the pillow is also super comfortable. The memory foam is the plushest thing about the chair, actually, and the cooling gel does do a good job keeping your head from overheating when you're using it. The magnets make it highly adjustable, which I mentioned before is a really big deal. Most of the time, gaming chairs have pillows that just sort of snap on, and at most you can move them an inch or two. This one has a pretty good range of motion, which makes it so you can settle it right in the nape of your neck or get it up behind your head if that's your preference. And it's really easy to move around or just to pop it off if you don't feel like using it for a while. The cylinder and the chair itself also both just feel pretty well balanced. It feels really sturdy and stable, whether you're sitting up or in a recline or pretty much any position that the chair offers. But that gives us a pretty good segue into talking about the next thing, which is adjustability. Now, I already talked a little bit about the 3 different sizes that this comes in and the recline and stuff like that, so I'm not going to go over that twice. But I will say that there is a pretty good range of height adjustability on the chair itself. It goes down fairly low and comes up to what I consider pretty much an ideal height for me, which I'm 6 foot, so this is really comfortable for me. If you're taller than me, you're probably going to want to spring for the XL, but if you're right around my height, then I think the regular is a solid choice. I also mentioned before that this chair has a rocking feature. There's a little lever on the right-hand side that when you flip it, the chair can go into a rocking mode. And that's pretty nice, especially if you're going to want to play with a controller, so you can just sort of kick back, watch a movie or something. The 4 directional armrests, if you aren't clear with what those are, basically have 4 different adjustability features. They can go down and back up, they can go out and back in, they can go backwards and forwards, or they can rotate at 3 different angles. And that's pretty cool. I personally think it's not that big a deal. I think up and down is a really good adjustability feature, but the other 4 directions are, in my opinion, a little gimmicky, and I'd much rather have a more stable armrest, but they're very popular. People like them, so I get why chairs want to put them on there. I will say that of all the different 4 directional armrests that I've tested, these ones are done the best. First of all, they actually lock their rotation when you're not using it. The same button that you use to adjust it backward and forward is also the locking mechanism for the rotation. So if you're not pushing these buttons, you can lean and it isn't going to snap out of place like some other chairs that I've tested. But here is the big adjustability feature, and that is the L-Adapt lumbar support. There's a knob on either side of the chair. One of them adjusts the depth of the lumbar support, so it goes out and in, and the other adjusts the height. So you can really fine tune it to get it right in sort of the nook of your lower back, and then adjust the depth of it until it's giving you the perfect amount of support without pressing too hard. I cannot oversell how much better this is than a lumbar pillow. Pretty much every gaming chair just puts a neck and lumbar pillow on their chair and says it comes with neck and lumbar support. It's really not the same thing. Having adjustable built-in lumbar support is a game changer, believe me. And if you spend hours and hours and hours in your chair, it's a big deal. The L-Adapt, I found, works really well. It has a wide range of adjustability, both in terms of height and depth, and can give you either a lot of support or just a little bit. It really works depending on however you want to set it. I honestly think it's the biggest selling point of the chair, but we'll get more into that in just 1 second, because now it's time to go to the verdict. So the price varies a little bit depending on some of the features you choose when you order this chair. This one is the regular with the Softweave Plus fabric. This one MSRPs for $569. Getting it with the hybrid leatherette is about $20 cheaper. It's $549. And then getting it with the Napa leather is a full $999. Also, it seems that the small and the regular chair pricings are roughly the same as far as I could tell, but the XL adds an extra $50 to $100 to the price point depending on your upholstery. I have to mention that that is really, really expensive. Most high-end gaming chairs, not even most gaming chairs, but most of the high-end gaming chairs are between $300 and $450. So for this one to go for $570 is pretty expensive. Pretty much the only gaming chair that I found that was more expensive than that was the Herman Miller X Logitech G M-Body. Now that goes for $1,750, but honestly, that's because it's a Herman Miller. They're like the Ferrari of office chairs. That's a totally normal price for them. It doesn't even really count. I don't even think it really counts as a gaming chair personally. It's a high-end office chair. In terms of real gaming chairs, this is pretty much the most expensive one on the market. So what does Secretlab do to earn that price? Well, it's a few things. I mean, the overall build quality is immaculate. It's great. It has a few other things. The magnetic headrest is a really nice touch. It seems like a simple thing, but it goes a long way. The plush hot swappable arm pads, that's also another sort of gimmicky, but really nice thing. I feel like a lot of other gaming chairs are going to start following in Secretlab's footsteps there. But the big selling point, in my opinion, is the L-Adapt lumbar support. As I mentioned before, I cannot oversell how much better real lumbar support is than a pillow. It really makes all the difference. Now, whether or not that lumbar support is worth an extra $150 to $200, that's sort of dealer's choice. But I have to say, if you want to get the best, most comfortable gaming chair that money can buy, I think this is it. I think the Secretlab Titan Evo 2022 edition is the most comfortable gaming chair on the market. It has the most ergonomic adjustability and just a generally great build quality. So with all that in mind, we gave it a 4.5 out of 5. A couple points came off for super nitpicky things like the wiggly armrests and the cushions maybe being a little firmer than we'd like. But the main thing that it loses points on is the price. It's really, really expensive for any office chair, but particularly for a gaming chair. So why don't you go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you own this chair, go ahead and leave your thoughts on it so that other people who are thinking about getting it can get your opinion. If you're thinking about getting it, let us know. Do you think this is just too expensive, or do you think that top tier quality is worth a premium like that? While you're at it, please go ahead and give us a like and subscribe. We've got lots more reviews coming real soon, and we'd hate for you to miss any of them. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Happy gaming.